Every year, as Diwali brightens the sky with the lights, so does the pollution, and smog covers the Delhi. But this time, Supreme Court has stepped in and taken a stand and told everyone that you can celebrate with crackers, but they should be green. So what does green cracker mean, and will we be able to celebrate Diwali with the traditions, and can we have a cleaner celebration this time? I and Afrida will discuss in Sidelined today. So Afrida, what do you think? Is this the solution for an environment ahead of Diwali or during Diwali? However, there's a condition, it should be between 18 to 21st.
Yeah.
But do you think it's a viable solution for a cleaner celebration?
Inder, I feel that, the fact that you had this restriction imposed, people accepted it, because after all, this is a matter of public health. It is not for any other reason but for your own health reasons that the decision was taken. Now, what is the trade-off? We are weighing an option of public health, your own safety, your own health, vis-a-vis a celebratory spirit. If you weigh it like that, it seems, come on. I mean, why would you jeopardize your health, your respiratory system, your lungs for a celebratory issue? Let's trade that off and let's keep public health paramount. If you look at it in the overall picture, I would say no. I mean, why would you allow green crackers, and how would you limit it? I mean, you would say, okay, the emission is 35% less or less harmful, but Delhi is a place where AQI goes up to 1000. So if you are saying that with green crackers it'll be 30% less, 700 is bad enough.
Right.
It's not a desirable AQI. 30% is not helping. So I would certainly feel that it was not advisable for a place like Delhi to encourage this, because एक खिड़की खुल जाता है फिर दरवाजा खुल जाएगा ना. I mean, you should not have gone
and
that
surprisingly, Grab 1 has been invoked in Delhi. So AQI level is already poor, and right before Diwali and allowing people for green crackers. However, there are certain conditions that there should be QR code for the salesmen also. But will people limit their crackers as well? That also matters. Will you burn 1 cracker or 10 cracker? That will make a difference.
Absolutely, the quantity will matter. But Inder, what do you feel about the fact that there is an issue that is being brought in here? The petitioners who argued in court, one of the lawyers who argued for the traders, they said कि सब कुछ अगर मिल मिला के देखो तो 15 लाख लोगों के जो है livelihood पे असर पड़ेगा. So you can't do it in a like a blanket ban in this manner. You have to do it maybe in a staggered way, maybe find alternative, and then you can't target the livelihoods of so many people who depend on this Diwali
cracker business.
So don't you think that there somehow maybe the Supreme Court took a lenient view or more accommodative view? Do you think that was the reason this was allowed?
But livelihood, I think, cannot be at the stake of health. We are talking about health also. I remember living in Delhi. House was choked. You cannot step out of your house and go for a walk for good 1 week for the last 2 years. That's the situation, and we'll show our viewers also the data of AQI. How poor it was. It wasn't just poor. So 700 was very normal, and it took quite a while to get it back to 450. And this year also, if we talk about, today also I checked the data, it was poor, in poor category. If the situation remains like this, then how can we expect that, this is good for certain people and bad for others? I don't think that there is a
so there can be, if you have a government that is announcing scheme after scheme and Ladki Behan and this for women and that ahead of elections, why don't you take this as a project and say, you know what, we will cater to this lot, we will ensure their livelihood for this period of time that their incomes will suffer, and rather than making them produce crackers, which is so harmful for environment. There could have been, if there was intent, there could have been a solution to the livelihood issue, I feel.
Yes, and not just the Diwali. If we talk about the pollution only, the cases had been piling up in the Supreme Court for years. And every year Supreme Court stinger comes up for the government, and there are political netas. The blame game begins between the states, Delhi, Haryana and Punjab, fight for, crop burning, stubble burning issue comes up. But is this the only contributor? We also need
Yeah,
to check.
that is true. Yeah.
So
Because that argument will also be put that आप double burning का क्या कर रहे हो? सिर्फ
Yes.
crackers के पीछे पड़ गए 2 दिन के crackers. You know, why are you not doing, you know, addressing the larger pollutants,
Yes.
vehicular pollution and, you know, the factory emissions and the other garbage burning issue, stubble burning issue? Why are all of that? So yeah, that whataboutery we can do. But net, I think you and me agree in that allowing green crackers even for this limited period after you having stayed in Delhi and after the experience you shared, perhaps not advisable for health reasons.
because Delhi CM is also talking about tradition. Diyas and crackers had been in our tradition, and we celebrate not just Diwali with crackers, but during weddings also you can see we burst crackers. But we have to be a little bit careful and cautious. It's not just the government policy, I think. People should also be a little bit mindful how they can celebrate and make the environment cleaner. And we are not, it's not that we are not aware of it, how much pollution we are producing by bursting crackers, may it be green crackers. But my only point is that we don't have that intent to hold back ourselves a little bit when it comes to bursting crackers.
Yeah,
for
I think
any
the
kind of
citizens do
celebrations.
have a responsibility.
Yes.
Just because these 3 days are allowed, one should not go overboard and start, you know, bursting. That responsibility Delhiites will have to exercise. And the rest, as we all know, this is something where the government has a responsibility, the people also have a responsibility. It can only happen if you understand the fact that the situation is really bad. If you can't, whatever is in your hands to control, at least that you must, you know, that should not be allowed to let go. Thank you so much for having this conversation. Thanks very much.